We just got a big new teaser for the next Piggy build mode update. So this here is the brand new teaser image, but wait a minute, what the heck is this? And why is the menu so large? It's kind of weird too. Let me explain what it is. So for those who don't know, this right here is the brand new decal block that's going to be coming into the game in the next update. The decal block allows you to insert any image that you want that's uploaded on Roblox onto your map. However, the question is, how exactly do you get an image to be put into the decal block, specifically in this setting area right here that says image ID. So for those who don't know, if you go up into the top of the Roblox page here, if you go over to the create tab, which is normally only visible on PC, and then you enter the store tab and then the decals tab, you can end up finding a whole bunch of uploaded decals for you to be able to use. And once you copy the ID in the URL above, you can go back into Roblox, insert this image ID into here, and boom, you will have the image actually inside of your map. But here's the problem, not everybody's on PC. So if you're a mobile player or an Xbox or console player, how the heck are you supposed to find image IDs? Well, it turns out that this image that I was just talking about actually plays a very crucial role in that. You can clearly see here that there's a search box down here. So I don't know if this is gonna be a side menu or if it's gonna be a menu maybe inside of the decal block itself, but the idea is that you can search up, it'll show you a whole list of options for the image that you're searching for, and you could just simply click on it, and I think if you hit this arrow down here, it'll just put it in the decal block. But once you insert your decal, you can simply just use scaling. For the regular decal block, you can scale it to stretch out the image, or you can make it as large and scaled as you want. The decal blocks aren't just for solid images though. You can go in here and use transparent images without a background. So you can see instead of it being a full square, you can actually see through this. So you can use this to make some really cool stuff. Now there isn't just one decal block coming in the next update. The second type of block is called a texture block. And it works a little bit differently, although it does look the same and act similar in some ways. It has a little bit of a different function. Let's just say you want to have your own custom textures in your game, but man, I don't want to have to sit here and place down so many decal blocks. That would take up a lot of data. That would take up a lot of time having to insert the IDs into each and every single one. That's going to take forever. It's not efficient. It's not good. That is where the texture block comes in, because the texture block, aside from it being a solid physical block here that shows the decal all on the same side, it does one thing differently. Do you remember how I said the regular decal block, when you scale it, it can either, it basically stretches, right? Well, the texture block doesn't do that. When you scale a texture block, it will duplicate the decal over and over and over again. And even though there are so many of them here, it still counts as one solid block, one singular block. So instead of having to sit there and waste your time placing down a million of these, you can simply use the texture block, and it works amazing. However, there are two things that you cannot do with texture blocks. First things first, remember how I said that these images support transparency? In other words, you can see through the background? Well, for texture blocks, you can't really do that. So if I insert this into here, yes, it does make the background transparent, but all it shows is the block's texture behind it. So it doesn't actually make it invisible. Now, there is one more thing that the texture block can't do. So remember how I said that the texture block shows images on all sides? Well, if you're trying to make something like that, see, we got ourselves a Minecraft block, but because it duplicates all the images on all sides, you can see that this doesn't quite look right here. Now, what we can do is we can take ourselves a decal block, but then we run into another problem. We can take ourselves a grass top texture, we can add it on top of here, and boom, that kind of fixes the problem. Well, almost. You see, if we have it as one square here, it makes sense. But if we stretch it out, it kind of looks off. That's not exactly quite right. It doesn't look quite right at all, right? Well, the only solution we have is that we have to run into the problem of placing down decal blocks one at a time, like this, in order to get our desired outcome. So something that I hope Epic Take ends up adding into the decal block update, this is not confirmed by the way, it's just like my own personal idea that would be very useful, is if you could go into the settings here and change the scaling type. You can have it where if you set it in the settings, you can have the regular decal block have stretching enabled, or if you toggle a different setting, you can make it scale like texture blocks, where it simply duplicates the image every single square. I think that would be a really helpful change. But there's one more thing you can do with decal blocks that makes them, quite literally, even more powerful. They are powerable. Powerability is going to bring some awesome options to people's maps, but it's also going to bring about something even more important and something crazier that you thought wasn't going to be possible inside of build mode. What if you can have your own animations inside of your map? When decal blocks end up releasing, I'll show you guys a tutorial on how to make this and make stuff even more advanced like this. Not just animations, but also offsetting with decals, all kinds of different stuff. Now, aside from that different scaling option that I really hope that Epic Tank ends up adding in the next update, I have no idea if he's going to or not. There's one other feature I'd really like to see inside of the decal block, and I like to call it profile mode. When it comes to links actually memorize who activated them, and that's how holding power works, and how the stuff like teleport blocks are able to know who to teleport based on whoever sets off these links, that kind of stuff. But what if it came in a visual form for mini games or any other type of thing? What if you wanted to have a visual way to represent as to who set off a link, or who is playing a certain role inside of a certain game, or who the target is, who the imposter is? So many different options. I like to call it profile mode. So basically, instead of inserting an image ID, if you hook up a power source to a decal block and you set it to the profile mode, it will automatically display the profile picture, the Roblox profile picture of whoever activated it. So if Epic Tank comes in my map and he flips this lever, it'll enable and it'll show Epic Tank's profile picture. If I'm the one that powers the decal block, it'll show my profile picture. And it's a perfect visual way of being able to see who exactly set off a certain link. Think about it, right? In Squid Game, you got the whole profile of all the different players. Maybe you want to show each player when they die, have their name disappear off the board. Maybe you're playing a murder mystery type of game, not murder mystery, the Roblox game, but maybe you want to see like, hey, this is the target, this is the killer, or, you know, stuff like that. Or maybe you're rebuilding work at a pizza place inside of Piggy build mode, and you want to see who the current manager is based on whoever was able to activate a certain set of links. So again, this is not a confirmed feature, obviously, but I really hope that Epic Tank takes this into consideration, because I think it would open doors for a lot of new stuff. But I'm very happy about this in-game decal menu. It's going to make it so much easier for mobile players or console players to be able to access stuff like this. And even if you're on PC, it saves you the time of having to go search. You can have it all right here. Nice and easy, you know? What do you think of this new teaser? And is there anything inside the decal blocks you might think is a good idea to add? Let me know in the comments. I post content on the newest Piggy updates, and I also cover build mode tech like I did here. So if you want more stuff like that in your feed, make sure you subscribe.